Geoff, when's the last time you've bathed? You smell worse than a dead bogart.
I don't smell any worse than yours, brother.
Two dwarves are descending a mineshaft tunnel by pulley and rope. They make their way halfway down and find themselves at an outcrop. A small tunnel is ahead of them, barely able to let them through. Nevertheless, the dwarves enter the tunnel.
So, brother, when did you go down this here part of the mine, then?
I didn't. About a moon ago, there's been a tremor in the bench shaft, and then this here hole opened up.
And no one's checked it out?
Not yet, brother.
Armand and Geoff squeeze through the narrow tunnel, inch by inch, for another hour until it finally opens up. Before them is a 50-foot-high cave ceiling with a massive conglomeration of stalactites that nearly touch the pool of water at the center of this expansive cave. The cavern itself was dimly lit by the strange mushroom clusters in pockets all over the cavern floor. As the two brothers take in their surroundings, the silence is then interrupted.
Travelers, are you a friend or a foe?
What in Torag's name? Who's there? Show yourself.
Armand arms himself with his pickaxe that he carries in front of him. He's ready to defend himself. Geoff is reaching for his lantern to strike the flint.
You must promise you are friend.
We are friend, I swear by Cole. We only come seeking gems and precious ores. We bring no quarrel to you.
You promise?
Yes, we promise.
Aye, we promise.
Good.
One of the mushrooms nearby begins to shake and wriggle. Two slithering tentacles rise up from its cap. The base of the tentacle swells as if it's trapped a tiny air bubble within it. The bubbles push through the stalk of the tentacles, and finally one pops out with an eye, followed by the next stalk, which pops out another eye. This takes the brothers by surprise, and Geoff stumbles back in fear. He trips and falls into a cluster of mushrooms behind him. The mushrooms erupt into a cacophony of miasmic gases. The area is filled with a nauseous stench.
You tricked us.
No, we promise. Please, your friend is fine. I'm sorry, he just scared me is all. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Please forgive us.
We're sorry.
We apologize.
Voices can be heard from all around the cavern, apologizing and offering their sympathy. At this point, Geoff is completely passed out, hopefully. Armand turns around, and all around him in the cave, the mushrooms begin to rise up. Tentacles and eye stalks alike are forming. Their brown, red eyes, pupils shaped like that of a mountain goat's, are all popping out, staring in his direction. They don't move forward, and they don't become hostile, but Armand is still very wary. At this point, one of the mushrooms approaches him, its tentacles draping across the ground. It seems to float in the air. As it approaches Armand, it asks the following.
Excuse me, but do you have a moment to talk about the dark tapestry?
It had to be Flumph's. Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the Flumph as it pertains to Pathfinder. To even begin to discuss the Flumph, we quickly have to address the Dark Tapestry in Pathfinder. Little is known of the Dark Tapestry, unfortunately, but the darkness is the in-between the stars where inhabitants of Galarian believe true madness lies. The few beings able to survive the vast cold void of space are too alien for even the gods to comprehend, and present one of the greatest threats to the known universe, should they wish to do so. Gods of the Dark Tapestry, known as the Elder Mythos, form two main categories, insofar as such chaos might be categorized in and of itself. First is the Outer Gods, and the second is the Great Old Ones. The Outer Gods are equivalent to true deities, whereas the Great Old Ones are less powerful, more akin to demigods like the Archdevils and Demon Lords. The Great Old Ones respect the Outer Gods and may be seen even as their heralds or high priests of the greater kind. For mortals, though, the differences between cults of gods in either category is practically meaningless to them. The Ancient eldritch horrors of the Dark Tapestry are beings of immense power who, luckily, have thus shown little interest in Galarian or its solar system. Were the great old ones ever to devote even a fraction of their attention to this corner of space, it could very well end the existence of gods and mortals as we know it. Now, this is where the Flumphs come in. Though the exact origin of the Flumphs is not for certain, their purpose is very much clear. They take it upon themselves to warn the entire universe and multiverse, if they can, about the threat from the Dark Tapestry. This mission is so ingrained in their being that they need no training or learn history about it and just simply know it. Even if the details are a bit fuzzy, they still know enough to give them their signature purpose. And as it is, that signature purpose is to warn anyone and everyone about the Dark Tapestry. Flumphs on Galarian are no different than any other planet or solar system that they may have been sent to or found. They are there promoting the warning about the Dark Tapestry. Let's move on to the appearance. Flumphs are small, jellyfish-like creatures who normally float about 5 feet off the ground on a self-generated cushion of wind, directing their movements with jets of air from countless tiny pores on the surface of their bodies. With some effort, the Flumph can force air through these openings in a way that roughly approximates humanoid speech, albeit in a squeaky and halting tone. Though a Flumph's underside is ringed with an array of acidic spikes that they usually use to hunt small prey, they are nearly defenseless against most attackers and usually attempt to flee when threatened. If cornered, a Flumph may emit a foul-smelling spray capable of temporarily incapacitating enemies while warning nearby allies of their presence. This olfactory defense mechanism causes Flumphs to feel more kinship with terrestrial creatures than with the jellyfish to which they bear a closer physical resemblance to. Flumphs hatch from pods flung deep into outer space from distant Flumph homeworlds and a ritual known as the seeding. Even a newly hatched Flumph has the instinctive knowledge of their purpose and seeks to make a lair close to a nearby settlement, which they then adopt as their personal charge to protect. However, remaining acutely aware of both their physical limitations and tendencies of their appearance to frighten the unsuspecting. Most Flumphs recruit and guide from afar, revealing their true nature only to their most trusted of allies. In addition to their mission, Flumphs endeavor to lead upstanding lives on a daily basis. They notably draw guidance from their dreams through exhaustive interpretations and carefully maintain dream journals. Life lessons, areas in which they can improve their behavior, and portent of alien dangers all come to the Flumph in its dreams, or at least that's what they believe. Despite placing so much importance on dreams, Flumphs have never or typically never set out and prove their dreams are authentic messages. Moving on to the Flumph's stat block. Flumphs are a level 1 creature. They are small apparitions. Their stat blocks can be found on page 100 of the Pathfinder 2e Bestiary, 3rd volume. They speak Aklo, which is essentially the Underdark language, and also Celestial Uncommon. For skills, they come with a +7 to Acrobatics, a +6 to their Dark Tapestry lore, and a +7 to Diplomacy, and a +7 to Stealth. They have a +0 to Strength, a +4 to Dexterity, a +0 to Constitution, +1 to Intelligence, +3 to Wisdom, and +2 to Charisma. Flumphs have a AC of 17, a +5 to Fortitude, a +9 to Reflex, and a +8 to their Will saves. They come with a moderate amount of hit points at 17. Moving on to one of their abilities, the Upside Down. A Flumph that is knocked prone must succeed at a DC 11 flat check or land on its back, rendering it flat-footed and immobilized. An adjacent ally can interact to right the Flumph, removing both conditions. They have a speed of 5 and a fly speed of 25 feet, so really, they don't want to be on the ground, they need to be floating. Their one melee attack is Spikes. It is a +7 to hit, and comes with Agile and Finesse traits. Damages a measly 1d4 piercing, but does have a 1d4 persistent acid damage to it. One of their specialized attacks is the spray perfume. It comes with olfactory trait. The Flumph sprays a 20-foot line of foul-smelling liquid. Each creature caught in the spray must succeed at a DC 16 Fortitude save or become sickened 1, sickened 2 on a critical failure. The odor from the spray lingers for 1d4 hours on all creatures that failed their saves. The sprayed creatures can be detected by smell at a range of up to 100 feet, and any creature adjacent to them takes a -2 circumstance penalty to saves against spray perfume or to recover from the sickened condition. The Flumph can use the spray perfume again for in 1d4 rounds. Oaths, promises. This isn't really an ability, but this is something DMs you should really play up. The Flumphs find great satisfaction in making and fulfilling oaths. They feel rewarded when keeping even a small promise, and pepper their social interactions with little agreements and accords. They take deception personally and don't understand the concept of white lies. After fulfilling an oath, a Flumph is sure to inform the other party. Incomplete oaths make Flumphs anxious, causing them to check if they believe that they've been promised something, often with an irritating frequency. So DMs, a Flumph. They're essentially your method to get the players back on track or expose them to some quest. They are good potential allies, and they're not something that your players are going to bring along necessarily with them. They're not going to add to the combat, but they're definitely some kind of plot hook. They have a rich history in both D&D and Pathfinder, and they're an interesting creature, and I hope that you DMs use these in some of your campaigns to some level. Well, this is all I have on the Flumph. Thank you for joining me, and look forward to doing the next video. Thank you.